Orlando Aristizabal is suing 24-year-old electronic technician James Morales for skipping out on a bill. James is countersuing, claiming Orlando tried to keep him from leaving, damaging his car in the process.
Now, this is case number 443 on the calendar in the matter of Aristizabal versus Morales. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, ma'am, please.
Mr. Aristizabal, what kind of a business do you have, sir?
Do an auto repair business, ma'am?
According to your complaint, Mr. Morales came into your shop to have his car fixed. You did a diagnostic workup on his car, told him he needed transmission to be done.
Yes.
He decided at some point that he didn't want you to do the work on his car, and he went to leave. You told him he couldn't leave until he paid you for the diagnostic work, which was $85.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, at some point, and you're going to tell me how this happened, he tried to leave. You tried to stop him. Tried to stop him by having one of your employees close a gate. He plowed through, damaged your property and a sign. You want him to pay for all that damage. Mr. Morales says that you had no right to try to restrain him.
Correct.
That you did no work on the car, that when your gate closed on his car, you caused damage to his car, and he is counterclaiming.
Correct.
What day did Mr. Morales come into your shop?
On 11/16, Mr. Morales came. I do have an exhibit.
What time did he come, sir?
4 o'clock, 4:30.
And what time does your shop close, sir?
6 o'clock, Your Honor.
Did Mr. Morales have an appointment, or did he come in
No, he walked
without
in.
an appointment?
He walked into my shop by a friend. He was recommended by a friend of his.
Had he had work done by Mr. Aristizabal himself?
No, Your Honor.
So why did he make this recommendation to you?
He said to me that this was his uncle's shop and that he'd give me a good price, an estimated price on rebuilding my transmission for that.
Is that what you needed, a rebuilt transmission?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you know that you needed a rebuilt transmission, Mr. Morales?
I had went the day before to another mechanic shop, and I have the receipt here. It shows that I paid for diagnostics, and it states there that my transmission needed to be rebuilt.
Now, when you came into Mr. Aristizabal's shop, sir, did you tell him you needed to rebuild the transmission?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Well, actually, when I first got there, he wasn't there. He showed up about 45 minutes later.
So at that point, it was between 4:45 and 5:30.
Yeah, about 5:30, when I finally got in contact with him around that time. He showed up. He asked me...
Who's Giovanni?
He was Giovanni at the time. He stated his name was Giovanni. He asked me what was the problem with the car. I stated my transmission needed to be rebuilt. He asked me, how do I know? I told him because I had another diagnostics done. So he then got in the car and test drove the vehicle.
How did he test drive the vehicle, sir?
He drove it up to the garage door, and then he also reversed it back. He opened the hood. He looked in it. The vehicle was on the whole time, and then that was basically all he did. He asked me, follow me into my office. He asked me for my information.
May I see the piece of paper that you have, sir? Is that the information that you filled out when you came in?
Yes, this is exactly information exactly as to what happened.
Okay. Is this the piece of paper that you filled out while Mr. Morales was sitting in your office?
There is 4 copies, Your Honor, just to refresh you. There's 4 copies at the beginning of the estimate. That was the final estimate, what it says, everything that I found with the vehicle, everything that said. He also asked me...
You're not answering my question, sir.
That's the piece of paper that he filled up, yes, Your Honor. And he got an estimate of that.
No. Mr. Morales did not sign this document that you have handed to me.
Yes, he did.
No. He did not sign this as it is written here. You filled this out after he left. So I want to see what he signed when he was there, not after you wrote everything that you wanted to write on this document about what happened later.
I gave him a copy where it says computer diagnosis, ABS not working, to check and advice. $85 on the top of it, as you can see. The final invoice,
this invoice is meaningless to me, sir. So then let's get over this, because we're not going to waste any more time. We're not going to waste any more time.
Fine, Your Honor.
Tell me what you did with the car, Mr. Aristizabal.
When it came off of the car, I did the diagnosis. I put it what is called a Morris.
Tell me what you did.
I did the
diagnosis. Listen to me.
Would you please let me describe, Your Honor?
No, I want you to answer my question, Mr. Aristizabal.
I finally invoiced it. I told him exactly what it was wrong at 5:30. He said he was going to take it somewhere else to have it repaired somewhere else. He wasn't going to do it then. I asked him, he must repair, he must pay me for the diagnosis that I had done.
I didn't hear anybody doing a diagnostic, sir. Just because you wrote diagnosis doesn't mean you did anything. Now, you want to tell me exactly what you did or produce an employee who performed any work on the car.
It says right there on the invoice, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal, that's what the whole dispute is about. Mr. Morales says you didn't do any work on his car.
So he signed an invoice saying to have the car diagnosed.
This invoice, sir, is worthless. You wrote this invoice after the whole incident happened.
Did you see that I did it after, Your Honor?
Sir, you can't produce something.
I am producing. That's the honestly true, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Aristizabal says customer James Morales owes for skipping out on a bill. James says Orlando didn't perform any work on his car.
Who is this person?
That is a customer that happened to be there when he damaged his car, and he's here to testify. He damaged the car with the...
So this is a witness that you brought. Did you bring a witness who did any work on Mr. Morales' car?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, did anybody else take your car away from you and put it up on a lift or a machine?
No, Your Honor.
When you told him that you weren't going to do the job, what happened?
Well, what happened was, from after he drove the vehicle, we got off the car, we went into his office. He asked me for my information. I signed the form. He said that he was going to call me the next day to let me know exactly how much it was going to cost, that it was mandatory for his company to do a diagnostics. So after all, I agreed with it. I said, fine, fine. I agreed with it. I left the premises.
What made you change your mind, sir?
Overall, the car is in my name. It's my car, but that's my wife's vehicle. I have a 99 Tahoe, my truck, which I drive to work and back. She uses the Infiniti to go to work and do her errands. The car that was getting fixed was coming out of her money. She said no. She decided not to. She told me, well, we're wasting our money if we're throwing our money out the window to get another diagnostics done if we just got one done yesterday. So from there...
So you went back inside to get your car.
Right. When I went back to the premises, we pulled into the vehicle. She pulled in where the gate line is, right on the premises line, where the gate would close, and she stopped. I got off the vehicle. I walked up to the garage. I seen my vehicle still in the same place. The key still in the ignition. The hood was still open. The door was open. And I looked for Mr. Giovanni, which she told me his name was at the time. I went into the office. I did not see him. I came out of the office. He came out of the back. He appeared out of the back. I then told him, we're not going to leave the car with you. After all, I'm going to go ahead and take my car. He told me, well, you can go ahead and take the car, but you have to pay me my diagnostics, my $85 for the work that was done. I told him what work. I told him there was no wires connected to my car. I see no computer next to my car. I see no mechanic next to my car. I see no tools. The car was not on a hoist. It was not moved. So therefore, I felt that there was no work rendered to my vehicle, and I told him that I was not going to pay him.
Did you see his car on a lift, sir?
No.
Did you see any wires attached to his car being diagnosed?
Well, I was only there for like 5 minutes.
The answer is no.
No.
Go ahead.
So from that point, I told him I told him that I wasn't going to pay him. We started arguing. He was being loud. I got loud also, and from there I had my wife and my daughter in my truck waiting for me. I didn't want to argue with him, so I gave him the paper back. I shook his hand and I told him, look, Mr. Giovanni, if you feel I owe you, you have all my information.
Sue me.
You call me, you sue me, you do whatever you have to do. I'm taking my car.
Does that sound familiar, Mr. Aristobal?
I saw him after he came back. He wanted to leave. I told him he must pay for the diagnosis, which had been authorized.
And he said, I'm not paying for it.
He said he's not paying for it. I can call the police. He was a little bit high on drugs, I will imagine, because he was very,
This man was not high on drugs. This man was not high on drugs. Listen to me, sir. Mr. Aristobal, put the pictures down, sir. How did you stop him? Because according to your complaint, you said you tried to stop him. How did you try to stop him, sir?
I don't need to stop him. I did not. So help me God, Your Honor. I did not stop him. He left taking my gate out of it and my dumpster, here in the dumpster,
Step
and
up,
here is the
sir.
pictures of it.
Step up. You were a customer?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a customer there?
For like 1 year.
You saw this incident happen?
Yeah, I only saw when he left.
Did one of Mr. Aristobal's employees close the gate?
No, ma'am.
Was it closed?
No, it was open. It was open like a car's distance.
And so describe to me what happened, sir.
Well, the young man got in his car and he just like bailed out fast, like he was stealing the car. He was like scared for some reason. He just left real fast and he hit the dumpster and the gate.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, from that time when I paid it, I told him I was going to pay the $85, I gave him the receipt back because when I left, he gave me a receipt. And I told him, I'm not going to pay you. I was already backing up. He then asked me, look, at least pay me $45 for my labor fee. I then replied to him, I'm not going to pay you anything. I continued to back up. He started yelling at his, there was about maybe 10 employees there. And if I may say, Your Honor, he was also an employee here. The witness is also an employee. If you notice his hands, they are greasy.
Did you work for him?
He
Did
is
you
an
part-time
employee.
work for him?
I don't work for him. I paint cars. He's a mechanic shop.
What were you doing there that day, sir?
He was fixing one of my cars.
Fixing one of your
Mechanical.
personal cars or your
Yeah.
business cars?
No, one of my cars.
Your
That I
Honor,
want
if
to
I
sell.
may-
Yeah, I try to get cars fixed so I can sell them.
Sit down. Go ahead.
From there, he yelled at his employees, don't let him leave, don't let him leave. I'm calling the police, don't let him leave. Well, my wife was still parked in the same place, if I can point out. She was parked here, right on the gate where the gate closes. And one of the employees started closing the gate on her vehicle. My daughter was in the car on the passenger side, behind the passenger back seat, and where the gate was closing onto. My wife then exits the vehicle and asks Giovanni, what's going on? What's going on? Giovanni replies, he's trying to steal my money. He needs to pay me. You guys need to pay me my money. She got in the vehicle. She backed up. She got onto the street. I then continued to back up. When they closed the gate on me, when it hit my vehicle, if you can see, if I can present some pictures to you. If you notice where the red arrow is, that's where I came to a complete stop at the dent that it made.
I want to see all the pictures, Berg. There's Mr. Aristobal's also, please.
This is the customer's car.
So what's this?
The car was scraped from the front all the way, from the back all the way to the front. From the yellow fence. If you can notice the yellow paint on the fence.
If you look, Your Honor, on the tire on the driver's side, on the first tire, you would see that the trash can was actually pushed onto
The car.
on the driver's
You see
side.
the blue paint from the picture.
And both of the mirrors were knocked off.
Did you see who did that?
I couldn't really identify who did it. However, I know the male who was closing the gate was a white, tall, Caucasian male. And I told him, what's going on here? Because he's closing the gate on the side my 2-year-old is sitting on in her car seat. He says, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. Mr. Giovanni at the time, who had presented himself as Giovanni, was instructing his workers in Spanish that by no means let us out. Mr. Giovanni at that time said that he was going to call the cops. However, Cop Ernst did call the dispatching group to see if any call was dispatched from that location, and it was a negative.
Who's Giovanni?
This is, I named my shop after my son.
When somebody comes in and asks for Giovanni, your name is Orlando.
I am Giovanni's DBAS. Yes, Your Honor, that is true. I'm Orlando DBAS Giovanni's. That's how my fictitious name is.
You have estimates on your car?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We have an estimate that was done a couple of days after the incident.
the next day.
The next day.
Which is the 17th. It's also dated.
Do either of you have a police report?
Yes, we do.
We have a copy of the preliminary police report that was filed that day.
If I may,
Do you
Your
have a
Honor,
copy of a police report that you filed, Mr. Aristobal?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it, please.
if I may, Your Honor.
Okay. No. What year car is this?
It's a 1993 Infiniti G20.
Well, the cost of painting it is $3,000. It's
Right.
worth more than the car.
Exactly.
Right. You paint cars, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you charge for a really good paint job?
It varies from $2,500 to $500.
And what about to take out all the dents on a car?
Depends how many, what kind of dents.
Here you go. not often that I have an expert witness that I can question. You can stand up, sir.
It could be fixed without changing any parts.
Great. How much could you fix it for, sir?
I can fix this probably for $1,500.
You know what I find interesting, Mr. Aristobal? That Mr. and Mrs. Morales filed their police report the date of this incident, the 16th.
Right after.
You didn't bother to file yours until the next day.
When I went there, they told me I won't be able to file the same day because simply they have filled out one. And when I got there at the Foothill Police Division, they told me I must wait until next day so I can file a report. And I went back.
Are you telling me that a police officer said you couldn't give your version of the events on the same day?
Yes, because it was one taken already. Yes, Your Honor, that's
But the next day it was okay for them to take it.
Well, I went over it again.
So what you're telling me is the next day they said...
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal, you did the wrong thing, sir. There was a dispute. Whether you were right or wrong with regard to the dispute, you had an option. And your option was to let this gentleman and his wife leave.
I did.
And no, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. To let this gentleman and his wife leave, causing no problem, deciding to sue him, you had his name and address, you felt as if he owed you $85, that's what you do. You said, no, I'm calling the police. The truth of the matter is, if you had called the police at that very moment, Mr. Aristobal, you would have been the first one filing the police report. You didn't call the police at all.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Not that day you didn't, sir.
So help me God.
No, you didn't, sir. Because then you would have filed the police report before them, and if I listened to your logic, when they came out speaking, then when they came in, the police would have said to them, you can't file a report today, Mr. Aristobal already did. You have to come back tomorrow and file your report. I know exactly what happened. You don't have to be a genius to figure out what happened. There is no indication whatsoever by you or any witness that any work was done on Mr. and Mrs. Morales' car. You were annoyed that they weren't leaving the car. You told your employees to close the gate because you weren't going to let him take the car. You frightened his wife by your actions, and you're going to pay for his car.
And my daughter.
And he's not going to pay for any damage that he did to your gate or your dumpster because he had no right to try to keep him inside, which you did. You have recourse. This is not the Wild West. Judgment for the defendants in the amount of $1,700. You can have your car fixed for that amount. Otherwise, you'll have to total it.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
I think that people shouldn't be able to just manipulate the whole situation and think they're in control, and I think the judge made a good ruling.
He took the keys away. He got in a car. He was speeding out about 25 miles an hour.
Me trying to save money, a friend referred me to a guy who said it'd be cheaper, and ended up wrong.
Since he was a little bit high on, I don't know what it was. He was spinning the wheels out.
No, I haven't drank. I don't do drugs.
I feel that he was stealing the services, and he did. I let him go.
Any common sense person can see the truth, so I'm glad that, it came out right.
19-year-old customer service rep David Gonzalez is suing 27-year-old merchandising manager Heath Stoddard for vandalizing his car. Heath claims David sexually assaulted his friend, Amanda.
Now, this is case number 483 on the calendar in the matter of Gonzalez versus Stoddard. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Gonzalez, it is your claim that Mr. Stoddard vandalized your car and threw a bottle at it, and you want him to pay some $4,000 in damage. And I gather from reading all of these papers that there was an incident involving a girlfriend of yours. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this the girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to start with her. Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Amanda. Amanda.
All right. Amanda, you have a last name.
Payne, P.
On what night did you allegedly have trouble with Mr. Gonzalez and his friends?
The night of the incident.
Well, what date was that?
I'm not sure.
What date was that?
August 26, 2004.
All right, now I want you to tell me your version of what happened that night.
I was outside talking to Sam over here, and I was going to go back into the apartment, and him and his friend stopped me, and they took me over to the pool.
He and his friend. Did you know them before that evening?
I had met them, yes.
So you were acquaintances?
Right.
And you say he and his friend stopped you. How did they stop you?
They took me by my arms. They grabbed me by my arms just like that.
Yes.
And they took me over by the pool area, and They were touching me and feeling me.
Tell me what they said to you when they grabbed you by the arm. Tell me what...
They had been drinking, so they were just slurring and just making rude comments to me, saying, you're going to come over here and, you know, we're going to do this and that. And I had hollered for Sam. And
okay, so they grabbed you and pulled you over to the pool area?
Yeah, we were walking over by there.
Well, as you were walking over to the pool area, were you calling for help?
Yes, I called for Sam, and they...
As you were walking over to the pool area?
Yes.
Before anything happened to you, were you calling for anybody?
No, because they had just took me by my arms, and they were just walking me over there fast.
Well, did you say, I don't want to go with you? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I did.
Amanda. Okay, let's keep going. So they walked you over to the pool area. Go ahead.
They had me picked up, and they were smacking my butt and just touching me, like I said.
And you were calling for Sam?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And they told me to shut up, and they called me a B word.
Go ahead.
And then that's when Obed came over.
That's this person over here, yeah?
Yes, and he had came over, and he'd been drinking, and I said, Obed, do something. And he said, what? Like nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And then he left. And then I managed to get myself away from them, and I ran back over to Sam and told Sam about it.
Sam. Up. Sam, you have a last name.
Dyer.
What did Amanda tell you, Mr. Dyer, when she came over to you?
Well,
I want you to think very carefully of the exact words she used.
She was crying, and at first I couldn't get her to tell me. It was hard to find out what was going on. She started to tell me that these men had tried to grab her, touch her, and she used the word rape. At the same time that she had told me that, I saw the two walk past me to the car, get in the car.
And this gentleman was one of them?
Yes.
Okay, so they walked past you and they got into the car.
And then I went to the car to ask them if they were leaving. And they said, yes, but we'll be right back. We're going to the store. I went in to get my buddy, Heath, right here, to tell him what had happened. And I was angry. I can say that for myself. I was angry. I don't like to see... She was hysterical, very upset. And I told him what was going on.
You told Heath?
Heath. He was getting ready for work at the time. You know, I was excited. I was like, you know, I was kind of jazzed now, and I'm telling him, these guys are coming right back. This is what happened.
Okay, so they left. They did leave.
They had left, and they returned.
Do they live there in this apartment complex?
Obed.
He does?
Does live there, yes.
He does. So that they came back because they said they were going to?
Yes.
Okay. Strange behavior for people who were trying to rape somebody, to leave and come back. But go ahead.
Okay. I didn't actually see this, but I heard a glass shatter. That's when he later had told me that was a beer bottle that hit the window.
That he threw at the window?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The passenger then, he's not here right now, but the passenger jumped out, throwing his hands up, ready to fight.
Because somebody had thrown a bottle?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
There were three of them, one of Heath. Heath was approaching the car. As he was approaching the car, I went around the passenger side and engaged in a scuffle with the guy who had jumped out. I was ready, telling him to take a swing, which he did try to take a swing. I ended up taking him to the ground. He started to pull away from me. Heath was right there. They started fighting. I started to separate the two, the guy that is not here, Heath, and that other guy. And that's really all that I saw.
You've been most helpful.
Thank you.
Don't sit down.
Okay.
Mr. Gonzalez, had you been drinking that night?
We had been drinking. We weren't drunk.
Had you been drinking that night?
No.
Had you been?
Yes.
What had you been drinking?
Beer.
And you?
No, ma'am.
Fine. So you were drinking?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was driving?
I was. I was driving. I only had one beer. I wasn't drunk at all.
Who else were you with?
I was with my other friend and my cousin Obed.
Do you know Amanda Payne?
I do. I met her.
You want to tell me what happened that night?
Yes, ma'am, I do. That night, my cousin Obed had called me, and he said, hey, Miss Payne wanted to see me that night. I went over there with intentions of only seeing her. And
is that right, Obed?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
And...
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
Obed, when did Miss Payne tell you that she wanted to see your cousin?
We were outside talking, and I told her that David was in town, and she told me to call him up, so I called him up.
Is that right?
No. I never wanted to see him.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you are. You are. I could tell that your whole story was a little bit smelly. But about this, I know for sure you're lying, because he's telling me the truth. You caused a whole lot of trouble that night.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. David Gonzalez says he was assaulted and his car was vandalized by Heath Stoddard. Heath claims David sexually assaulted his friend.
Go ahead.
After that, what had happened was when I came outside, they were sitting over, my cousin and my friend were sitting over there with her talking, and she called my name near the pool area.
Go ahead.
She called my name to tell, she said, Obed, do something, and I said, guys, leave her alone.
What were they doing?
She was sitting on his lap while my friend was standing up talking to her.
Well, what did it appear as if they were doing?
Sitting and talking, that's what I thought they were doing.
Okay, was she crying at that point?
No, ma'am.
Was she screaming at that point?
No, ma'am.
When you came out and you said, guys, leave her alone, did she get up?
Yes, she did. She got up, and so did they, and I took them to the store to put gas in their car.
And then you came back?
Yes, ma'am, because they dropped me off. They had to go back to where they lived.
Do you know Heath?
Yes, ma'am, I do. He lives right across the breezeway from me.
You think Heath knew that she had said, why don't you call David and have him come over?
No, ma'am, because he came and asked me earlier on after the incident happened. He asked me some questions, and I told him she told him that she had nobody, you know, that she was just staying with him, you know, just to live there. She didn't say that she was dating him.
According to you, Amanda, this was a pretty terrible experience. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you contact the police, and can I see the police report?
The cops were called while the fight was occurring.
Can I see the report, please? Who called the police?
I'm not sure.
There was a lady that lived upstairs, and she called the cops.
Is that the only police report you had? This has nothing to do with the assault.
That is the assault.
No, this is what you allege happened to you. What happened to the assault on these guys?
I couldn't get access to it. I tried.
Did you file one?
Yes, I did.
When?
On that night as well, August 26th.
Now, what happened with these allegations, Miss Payne?
We went to court several times in Bethany, and at every hearing that we had, it got continued, and then finally they dismissed it and told me to go file in Oklahoma County because they didn't want to deal with it anymore. They thought it was a more serious matter.
Were you ever arrested?
No, ma'am, I was not.
There was never an arrest with regard to your allegations of sex abuse, madam.
I never went back and filed.
Why?
Because they had made a police report on Heath, and I didn't want them to go forward with pursuing Heath because I didn't think he was in the wrong, and I was tired of going through it.
When did they make the police report against Heath?
The same night.
First?
No.
You know that I don't believe you when you say that you didn't tell him to call David to come over?
You might not believe me, but I didn't.
Because you knew these two young men. There were other people around in the complex that night. If somebody grabbed you by the arm to walk you over to the pool area, all you had to do was scream and say, let go, help me, somebody help me, which you didn't do. Which you didn't do, because they would have heard you.
There were two guys. There were two of them.
They were not armed, madam. You knew who they were. All you had to do was scream, somebody help me. You didn't do that.
I hollered for Sam.
Let me see the damage to your car, please.
You want to see the estimates as well?
Yep. I'm going to get back to you in a second, Sam. Sometimes things are not as they appear. Now, you had options. Your option was, instead of going out there and starting trouble, you go into the house and you call 911 and you report an alleged attempted rape and you wait for the police, right?
Could have done that.
Is that the right thing to do?
That is the right thing to do.
Would you say that if I am correct, that Amanda over here asked Obed to call his cousin David, and she wouldn't want to say that now because things got out of hand that night, right? Right? Things got out of hand with you and with Heath that night, right? But if I am correct that she wanted David to come over just to talk, you would have been wrong to get involved with this, to confront and assault him, right?
If
the passenger in the car?
If she hadn't
I'm saying to you, if I am correct.
If you are correct. I see what you're saying, yes.
How old are you?
30.
I'm older. What kind of work do you do?
At the time, I was a detention officer for a juvenile detention center.
And now?
Now I manage group homes for people with developmental disabilities.
Well, my job for the last 30 years or so has been to figure out who was telling the truth and who's telling a lie. That's my job.
Right.
So I have more experience than you do. So you have to rely on me when I say to you, she asked Obed to call his cousin. Now, if you knew that then, would you have confronted the passenger in the car?
Not in that case.
Right. Okay. Boy, if I were one of two guys that attempted to rape somebody, I wouldn't go put gas in my car and come back to the same place. That just doesn't sound right. Once I got in my car, I would leave and not come back. Say, boy, hope this blows over. Wouldn't you?
They may have thought nothing was going to happen.
Maybe they thought nothing was going to happen because nothing happened. That's a possibility, isn't it?
That is a possibility.
I know that Heath would like to believe everything that she says. It's not true. And what you two gentlemen should have done was to pick up the phone and call the police so that in the event that something did happen to this young lady, the police would have dealt with it. They weren't going anywhere. They had just come back. What kind of car do you have, sir?
1995 Mazda 626.
The estimate that you have probably is worth more than the car is worth. There's a lot of damage to the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We were about to leave home, and then the cops come over, and they were like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's his papers, sexual assault and battery. I was like, what?
She just speculated and made her own ruling, and, you know, she didn't even ask me what happened, you know, my side or anything.
Basically, she ran the game on everybody.
They're lying. They wanted the money, and that's what they're getting.
Her story was whack. Everything she said was whack. All three of them are whack, and that's what they get.
I just feel really bad for Amanda.
It escalated to fighting and beer bottles hitting windows.
I saw red. I was ready to take someone down.
Thanks, Judge Judy. You rock.
Lindsay is suing her ex-boyfriend, barber John Williams, for unpaid loans and for his share of a Cancun vacation. John says the vacation was Lori's attempt at reconciliation after she destroyed his crocodile skin shoes.
All rise. Now, this is case number 486 on the calendar, the matter of Lindsay versus Williams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Lindsay, Mr. Williams used to be your boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend anymore. It is your claim that he owes you a whole bunch of money for loans that you made to him during the course of your relationship, including, but not limited to, half the expenses for a trip that you paid for to Cancun.
Yes.
Mr. Williams says that he owes you nothing. Whatever money that you did give him was sort of boyfriend-girlfriend thing. There was never any agreement to pay back that money, and that you had a hissy fit at one point and you cut his crocodile shoes. As a result of that, you felt guilty, so you invited him to go on a trip to Cancun, all expenses paid, right?
Yes.
When did you meet Mr. Williams, Miss Lindsay?
In October of '01.
And how long were you together?
Until May of '04.
Did you ever live together?
No. I lived in Cincinnati. He was in Philadelphia.
Were you under the impression that you were the only girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a monogamous relationship, Mr. Williams, with Miss Lindsay?
No.
When did you tell her that you were seeing other people as well?
After the day we came from Cancun.
2004?
Yes.
Okay. What money do you claim you loaned to Mr. Williams during the course of your relationship, other than the trip to Cancun?
Well, over the course of our relationship, John seemed to have been financially in trouble a lot. I did loan him some money by way of, I said, now look, if you need this money, I will loan it to you, when you get on your feet, you can pay it back.
Well, what if he never got back on his feet?
He said, okay, he agreed
What
to
I'm
that.
saying to you is, what if he never got back on his feet? Some people never do.
I just would not have
gotten your money back.
Right.
Are you back on your feet?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. You see, Miss Lindsay, a loan goes something like this. I am going to give you $1,000. Our agreement is you pay me back $1,000 when you get your tax returns in 2005. Now, what if you never get your tax refund back in 2005? Do you have a loan?
Yes.
No. You don't. If you say, I'm going to give you this $1,000, you're going to pay me back in May of 2005, hopefully from your tax returns. But if you don't pay me back from your tax returns, the loan has to be paid in May of 2005. Do you understand the difference?
I do.
Okay. So here's some money, honey. You pay me back when you get back on your feet. You don't even expect to get paid back.
But I did, Your Honor. He started to pay.
Well, you started giving him money right away, according to you, and you started going out with him in 2001. So let's say you made your first advance in 2002?
The 7th month of 2002.
And when did you make your last loan to him?
The 7th month of 03.
When did you loan him money to go to Cancun?
That was just on the credit card. We agreed to, we were going to go to Cancun. We had been to the Bahamas, and we received round-trip vouchers.
I don't care where you're going to go. You gave him money in 2002. He never paid you back, according to you. He owed you money from 2003 that he hadn't paid back fully, because you allege that is money that he owes you, right? So in the summer of 2004, a year later, you decide to loan him money to go to Cancun. And what I don't understand is why you're making him a loan when he still owes you money from the year before, and why you're making a loan when he still owes you money from the year before that.
Because I believed that he would pay it back.
Well, I don't know what gave you that impression.
Because he was paying some money.
How much did he pay you back?
He had paid $200.
On how much of a loan?
I don't know, because I had not added it all total at that point.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be your boyfriend anymore.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Good. Very much so.
Good. Okay. Tell me about the trip to Cancun, Mr. Williams.
How that came about, Your Honor, was he had gotten 2 round-trip vouchers from Bermuda when we went to a trip on Bermuda.
All right, Bahamas, Bermuda, Delta, the same thing.
All right, she called me up, Your Honor, and she said, well,
that
look.
That means the same thing in Yiddish. So okay. Means the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
She called me up,
John,
look here, let's go to Cancun. We got these vouchers, and I'll take you there. You got the plane ticket to get there. I'll take care of that. I'm saying, cool, all right. You know, I felt that I was owed that anyway.
Why?
You know, we were in a relationship. It was starting to get more serious than I wanted it to be. Miss Lindsay, she really didn't want to hear that. All right, and she kept pursuing the relationship. Now, it came a point when I told her, I said, look, you know, I wanted to end the relationship, and she surprised me one day. She flew to South Philly, came by my barbershop, unexpected, and she said she wanted to talk, go out to dinner, and, you know, maybe try to, like, get some clarity on where I was coming from. I said, okay, cool. We went to dinner, we talked.
Just a second. Were you trying to get some clarification as to what his intentions were when you came to Philadelphia?
Because at that point, Your Honor, they were not clear.
They should have been clear as a bell.
Okay.
You met him in 2001. If he wasn't down on one knee between 2001 and 2004 with a small box in his hand, you should have known what his intentions were. Right?
Right.
All right, so she came to the barbershop in Philly, and
we went out to dinner, we talked. I thought she had got an understanding on just how I felt. I mean, that's the understanding I got. I asked her, I said, Ms. Lindsay, you know, like, when you going back home? She said, I'm going back tomorrow. My plane leave tomorrow. I said, where you going to stay? Did you make any arrangements? Because, you know, see her to her hotel. She said, no, I didn't. You know, against my better judgment, I said, look, all right, you can stay over my spot tonight. You know, and go to the airport in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw Miss Lindsay, like, you know, in my bedroom with my safe open, going through my mail, and I'm like, come on, man, what is this? What you doing? So I said, well, look, you got to go. You know, I let you into my spot. You getting crazy like this, you got to go. I go in the kitchen, make me a cup of coffee. She comes in the kitchen with a steak knife. I'm like, oh, rage. I said, what was you going to cut me while I was asleep? Oh, no, John, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
She
what
cut
you
your
doing
shoes?
Tonight? Yeah. But I didn't find that out. I didn't find that out till she went home to Cincinnati, because she called, left a couple of messages. You know, John, I need to talk to you. So I returned the call. What's going on? She said, I did something I regret, and I wanted to tell you before you found out. I'm like, what's going on? She said, I cut up your shoes. I'm like, oh, Ray. I looked down at my shoe rack. She cut up 6 pair of my skins, my Crocs, y'all. That's mean and evil. You don't cut up a man's shoe.
What?
That's mean.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Lori Lindsay says ex-boyfriend John Williams owes for loans and a Cancun vacation. John says Lori is a woman scorned.
I did cut up his shoes.
I knew you did.
I did.
I knew you did.
I did. I cut up his shoes, and I cut up a couple pairs of pants. But, Your Honor, I did take care of those things.
Miss Lindsay.
Yes.
All I'm interested in is the trip to Cancun. Now, you went on the trip with her, Mr. Williams, is that right? When did you return from Cancun?
I believe it was in June.
It was in May, Your Honor.
After you came back from Cancun, sir, and went to Philadelphia, when did you call Miss Lindsay and tell her that you had a girlfriend?
The next day.
That night, Your Honor.
Would you tell me why, Mr. Williams?
My girlfriend grilled me. She was like on me because I lied to her and told her I was going to my sister in North Carolina. I don't know how she put it together, but, you know, she was at me and just busted me. So I had
was
to come
it so
clean.
important, Mr. Williams, that you go to Cancun so that you had to lie to your girlfriend, lie to Miss Lindsay, who you know had reasonable intentions? You went with her to Cancun. I assume you shared a hotel together?
Yes.
Why would you do such a thing, Mr.
Because I felt like I wasn't compensated enough for my loss.
You mean for your shoes?
Yes.
Boy.
I'm only being honest.
I'm glad that you're being honest. Amoral you are. Honest also. I mean, you're at least being honest with me. You certainly aren't honest with the women in your life, Mr. Williams. Have you ever been married?
No.
You have children?
Yes. 2 girls, 1 boy.
How old are your girls, Mr. Williams?
My oldest is 32.
She married?
My son is... Pardon me?
Is she married?
Yes, she is.
Have children?
Yes.
What would you think about her husband if he told her he was going to see his aged aunt in North Carolina and went with a woman to Cancun on a lark for 4 days? How would you feel about him?
That wouldn't be cool.
No, how would you feel about him? Would you feel hateful if he hurt your daughter?
Yeah.
Would you feel as if he deserved whatever happened to him? Because he was an amoral person?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself an amoral person?
I try.
You try to be amoral, you're succeeding. You get my drift, sir? I'm trying to teach you about the word empathy. Empathy is a thing that one human being feels for another, so that you don't say, my needs, my desires are more, even if they're wrong, are more important than another person's feelings that are legitimate. You know, her feelings are legitimate. She may have been overly involved in you, but you are certainly doing little things to, in your own way, encourage that.
I don't think so, Jan.
Yeah, sure you are. So, you see, when a man says to a woman, sure, I'd love to go to Cancun. Let's go. We'll go. We'll have a great time. You spend 4 days. You share the same room. You were intimate with each other. You had dinner together. You laughed with each other. And then when you come home and your girlfriend grills you, you call her that night. And you say, by the way, I have a girlfriend. And this was all a joke that I played on you. A dishonest, cruel, but that's what it was. It was a dishonest, cruel joke to 2 women, her and your girlfriend.
And
your girlfriend. That, sir, is amoral. And you can take your shoes, and if I were at a different venue, I would tell you what you could do with them. He said, you called and said, I want to go to Cancun, and he says you cut up all of his skin shoes, and he thought that was a good payment for it. Well, that's a little amoral, but it's also not the right thing to cut up and destroy his clothes.
I have proof that I paid for the things that I cut up. I have proof here, ma'am.
Show me.
There's for damages and repairs. Ask him about, he bought a fur coat in Cincinnati.
No. All I want to know is, show me that you paid him the money for the clothes that you cut up.
There. Highlight it in a different
October
area.
15th, shoes, $180. Did she buy you shoes, sir?
3 pair.
Oh, she did buy you 3 pair.
I never said that she didn't.
Well, no, but listen to me, sir. What you said was, in your answer,
I said when it came to...
After that incident involving the shoes, Lori did everything she could to try to make it up to me. She bought me a pair of shoes to replace a few things she cut up, but it didn't come close to the amount she had ruined. So when Lori contacted me and wanted to take me on a trip to Cancun, I accepted, no strings attached.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, Your Honor.
Who was supposed to pay for the hotel, Mr. Williams?
Lori.
It was agreed upon. I didn't call him asking him to go to Cancun. When we got the tickets in Bermuda, almost a year before, we agreed that we were going to go.
Okay.
So we were in a relationship.
Okay. Mr. Williams, not only did you go to Cancun and you hurt two ladies by going to Cancun for no reason, you got to pay for at least half your way. So I'm going to give Miss Lindsay a judgment in the amount of $750. Write him off. He's bad news. He's somebody else's problem now.
Exactly.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was going through some things, and I found out some things that I didn't particularly care for.
When she handed me the steak knife, I was like, I thought she was going to cut me.
Somehow they ended up sliced.
I mean, that's mean. That's just mean and evil. Cut up a man's crotch. Come on, that ain't right.
I didn't get all of it, but that's the price I paid for dealing with what I dealt with.
In hindsight, thinking about it now, I'm glad she cut up the crotch instead of cutting up me.
26-year-old account specialist Beatrice Turrieta is suing her mother, tanning salon owner Beatrice Coleman, for having her falsely arrested and for the return of her belongings.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 470 on the calendar, the matter of Turrieta versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat.
Ms. Turrieta, this is your mom.
Yes.
And you're suing her for a couple of things. First, you were living with her and her boyfriend. I assume this is the boyfriend?
Yes, it is.
For a while. You and your husband?
Yes.
And children?
My baby.
Your
My
baby?
6-month-old son.
Child. And there was some sort of a disagreement, a dispute. You left the house and you claim that your mother still has some of your property.
Yes.
That's one. Number two, you claim that your mother falsely reported to the police that you had stolen a credit card from her.
Correct.
And you were arrested.
Yes.
Your mom says that she has none of your property, and I don't understand her defense with regard to the credit card. Is what you're saying, Ms. Coleman, that you didn't call the police, but your boyfriend called the police?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, when did you and your husband and baby move in with your mother?
April 2004.
Why?
My mom didn't raise me. My father raised me from when I was 3 and my brother was 1 in New York. And I talked to my mom maybe 3 or 4 times a year for my whole life. She asked us to come there and come visit her, so I brought my son and we came to visit. I visited for about a month, and she said, why don't you come here with...
Well, what was your husband doing when you were visiting for
He
a
was
month?
still at work in North Carolina, where I'm from.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we were there for about a month, and John had come to visit 2 weekends, and she said, you should come here, save up all of your money, live with us, and you can save up enough money and get a house and come live here. So we did.
Where is here?
To Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And things were pretty normal and good for a little while.
Did your husband find a job?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And I got a job at the end of August. After that, I think things went downhill from there. She was watching my son while I was going to work, and he had diaper rash almost every week to the point where his butt was bleeding, and I had to fix it every weekend.
Can you tell me on what day you moved out?
October 16th.
Had there been an argument?
Yes.
About what?
They came home, they had been drinking. My brother was back from Iraq with his wife, and they came into the house and they were stomping and slamming doors and screaming. And I asked my brother, I was like, can you be quiet? My son is sleeping. And he stood up and he was like, I don't have to be quiet, I don't have to do anything. And then Ron came up behind him and he was like, this is my house and this is my rules, and if you don't like it, you can get out. And he was screaming and acting like a psycho. So I went and got my husband, and he got in my husband's face and tried to start a fight with him and said, come on, big boy, come on, big boy. You want to do something?
I got it. So things were, so you left that night?
Yes. And she came into my bedroom and she brought her purse with her. She took out her wallet and she opened it up and she went to looking through her credit cards and she went to give me the black one that I use sometimes, and then she goes, oh, you have my GM card, why don't you just use that one? Get a week at the hotel, and I'll get you somewhere to live. At the end of the week, I'll get you somewhere to live.
Well, why would she get you somewhere to live if you were working and your husband was working?
Because she felt bad because we had moved there.
You had the credit card?
Correct.
Ms. Coleman, how did she get the credit card?
She had it. She was going to obtain some Barbie dolls for me at her job.
She gave it to me.
Just a second. When did you give her your credit card?
Probably 2 weeks prior to her leaving the house.
Does that sound familiar to you?
She gave me the card almost every day, all the time, for gas, cigarettes, everything.
How many times did she use the credit card? If I were to look at the slips from the credit card company, how many times before October had she used the credit card?
Probably about 6.
And would you give it to her each time, or was it in her possession?
Usually.
Not usually. Was it in her possession?
She kept it. She kept it. She kept it.
She kept it?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm going to get to the truth.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I would like to see the police report that was filled out with regard to the credit card. Well, first of all, Mrs. Coleman, you filled out this police report. This is in your handwriting.
Yes, they made me.
Nobody makes you do anything, and you say here that she used it without my knowledge or permission.
Right.
Who made you? Your boyfriend?
No, when the sheriff came to the house.
Why did the sheriff come to the house?
Because he had checked our account online, and she had used
Who
it.
had?
My husband.
Yeah.
And she had used it at the motel room, charging $309. She went 3 different times in a matter of hours to the Meijer at the bottom of the hill and went on a shopping spree. Okay.
And charged what?
Energy drinks, men's boxer shorts, women's bras, conditioner, shampoos, all the stuff that she brought the policeman to the house to get that night.
Miss Coleman, I don't understand something, madam. I mean, I hear you talking about all the things that she charged on this. You're not talking about a lot of money. They all look like emergency things that one would use if they were staying temporarily someplace that they needed interimly, especially when you have a baby.
Right.
And you knew she had the card, and she had had the card before.
Right.
Don't you think the smarter idea, rather than involving the police in this, was after you went online and saw that she had charged the hotel room and charged the other thing, to call the credit card company and say, listen, my daughter has the card. She's not authorized to use it anymore. I want to stop the use of the card. Do not let it be used again.
Prior to this, she had went to my salon and was mad at her husband, charged $680-some worth of tanning products. My husband and her had gotten to a confrontation over it, and he told her, you are not allowed to use this credit card unless your mother gives you permission. And he said, because if you use this without my knowledge, he said, I will file a complaint on you.
Don't you think that it would have been smarter, more maternal, if you say to whatever his first name is, Joe, she's my daughter, she left the house, she's got my grandson with her, we don't want her to use the card anymore, just call the company and tell them, shut off the card. I don't want to involve the police, I don't want her to be arrested. Did you say that to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did he say?
Well, he said that he had already told her that she was not allowed to use it. And before she brought it back, minutes before she came to my house with the policeman standing there, she stopped and got a pack of cigarettes at the corner store.
You think he did the right thing?
No, ma'am.
You think you did the right thing?
Yes.
You did the wrong thing.
We attempted to take it back.
No. Your girlfriend says that you told her you can hold on to it, but if you use it again without your mother's permission or my permission, I'm going to call the police. And I'm saying, is she lying to me?
No.
Well, and I'm saying to you, if you didn't want the temptation there, you should have taken the credit card back. But you don't put her in a situation where she's got a baby and the police come to the motel and take her away and arrest her. That can start a process going from which it's very hard to extricate yourself. Very stupid. But they were entitled to do it. And I somehow think that your mother is sorry that it happened. She's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I know.
You got it?
I know.
Okay. What does your mother have in the house that belongs to you?
I have pictures of some of this stuff, and then I wrote a list of all the things
Let
that
me
she
see it.
has. And I called her and asked for his high chair, and she said, when I was in the hotel, because I said he was eating on the bed, and she said, well, he needs his high chair. And I said, I want my caricature and the calendar of him that I've been making of him since I was born. And she said, you know, I don't think I have those things. All I want is some respect. And she said, Ron's going to take care of it from here and threw the phone down.
Okay. You have these things?
I see she showed you a little picture of a toy box that Nicholas is in. That's mine. I bought everything that she's talking about, and I have receipts. I have $10,000 worth of receipts. Mr. Turietti was asked if he had got everything out. He said, yes, he did. He looked at me and said, all's in there is garbage. I can go down to my job, get a truck, come up and throw all that garbage away if you want me to. I said, don't worry about John.
Step
I'll
up,
clean
sir.
it up.
Did you go to the house?
Yes, Your Honor. I went on...
With or without the police?
With the police.
Fine.
And before we walked in, they wouldn't let us in the house until they had the credit card and the key to the tanning salon. She had to come up from the hotel. We gave them back the credit card, but we are not allowed to go anywhere in the house except the bedroom. Our stuff was in the basement, in another closet.
There's a lot of junk here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All of this doesn't add up to the motel room, right?
Right.
So what are you doing here?
I want the calendar that I've been making of my son since he was born. There's no, you cannot put a price on that. I put pictures of
Okay,
him.
do you have the calendar?
No, ma'am. And if it wasn't all that garbage, and what I had done was bought cases
Do you have
of
the
Pampers.
calendar? The
No,
answer is
ma'am.
no. She doesn't have the calendar.
That's just to hurt me. That's just to keep things from me that are
She
of
doesn't
my
have it.
son's.
Listen, you used a credit card, and I think that you probably knew that you weren't supposed to use the credit card at the time when you used it, whether you did or whether you didn't. What he had to pay for as a result of your using the credit card is more than this.
They didn't pay for anything. That's why my case was dismissed on January 21st, because they could not provide the receipts because they didn't pay the bill.
Oh, really?
Really.
Is that right?
You would have to ask Ron about that. We did pay. The reason it was dropped is I'm going through some cancer treatments. I didn't feel like going to, I couldn't. I was throwing
All
up.
I want to know is, did you pay for the motel?
We've reported it to the credit card company
They did not.
as a misuse of the credit card.
So the answer is you didn't.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today, Beatrice Turrieta says her mother, Beatrice Coleman, had her falsely arrested for credit card theft. Beatrice says her mother gave her that card.
You bought certain things for your grandson. Toy box?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. High chair?
No, ma'am. I don't have the toy, but I didn't. Oh, that's a walker, yes. But I don't have that. They have that.
Yeah.
But this you have?
Yes, ma'am.
You want this?
I don't have that other thing.
Just listen to me. Do you want this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have any problem with them having that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If you want to go over there in the company of a peace officer within 5 days, you can get those things. Understood?
Understood.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was born to that, who I haven't seen since I was 3, and I will never see again.
I would have still give her the $3,000 if that's what she wanted.
She's not a mother. She doesn't know how to be a mother. She never will be a mother.
When she came to my house, she asked my husband where his connection was for cocaine. So I'm sure that's probably what she needed it for. Either that or a gallon of Captain Morgan every week.
I do like Captain Morgan, but I'm a little fat to be on the coke. You think?
She's been in prison before for
Sponsor,
welfare
actually.
fraud.
I was in jail. I was, and I've made mistakes in my life.
My dad told me I was selling my soul to the devil when I came to her house, and he was right.
Executive assistant Junelle Avila is suing her ex-boyfriend, salesperson Jacob Johnston, for a loan to help with his divorce. Jacob says Junelle gave him the money as thanks for his support.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 478 on the calendar in the matter of Avila versus Johnston. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Avila, this is your former boyfriend, and according to you, you made a loan to him in an amount in excess of $5,000 to pay for an attorney because he was involved in a divorce and a custody dispute with his, I assume, now former wife?
Not quite.
Not quite. So you're still involved in this custody and legal dispute?
Yeah. She was difficult then and still is.
I don't know who's difficult and who's not. When were you married?
August 96.
And you have children?
1.
How old?
8.
When did you leave your wife, or when did she leave you?
I moved away and we separated in 2003.
Did you meet Miss Avila before or after you left home?
Oh, well after.
According to your complaint, the money that you loaned to him was in February of 2004. Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
Which was when?
I took out a personal loan in my name May 6, 2004.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
I gave Jake a cashier's check, which I have here, and a copy of the personal loan I took out to get the funds to loan to Jake.
Okay. Tell me about the discussion that you had prior to your executing this personal loan with regard to what the money was needed for and whether or not you would, in fact, take out a loan and lend him the money.
Jake's ex-wife had filed for divorce in February, so he had 90 days to respond to that, and he was running out of time. He had no other resources of money available.
Was he working?
No, Your Honor, he was not. He quit his job in March.
Why?
Didn't like the job.
Well, if you quit the job in March of 2004, how were you paying child support?
Well, I had unemployment coming in.
How much was your child
And
support?
at that point,
order?
I wasn't paying child support any longer. I'd paid. I was told to stop paying by my attorney because I'd been paying to the tune of $4,700 a month for all bills, for everything, ever since we had separated. I paid for everything, Your Honor.
What did your wife do for a living?
She works at a counseling center at a university.
And what kind of work were you doing?
Factory rep.
What does that mean, a factory rep?
Worked for a major manufacturer selling their products.
When did you go back to work?
October 10th is when was my hire date.
So you had no more money in May of 2004, and you needed money for divorce.
Correct.
So tell me about the discussion that you had with Miss Avila. Were you living together at the time?
We weren't living together. I always kept my own place. I stayed over at her place quite a bit, though.
Okay, so tell me about the discussion that you had with her.
We went through a lot.
I don't. Listen.
Initially,
You know, I got things to do. I'm not interested in your personal matters. I want to know
I
what you
understand that,
said to
Your
her and what she said to you about the money.
Okay. I had done a lot for her, and she felt that she wanted to repay me
Don't
back
tell me
with the
what she
gift.
felt. Listen to me. First, I want to know what you said to her. Something like, "Wow, I just got served with these divorce papers, and I have 90 days in which to respond to these divorce papers. I need a lawyer, and I have no money." Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Somehow that had to happen before she had feelings that she wanted to help you. She had to know about the service of the papers and that you needed money for a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So let us start with there.
Okay.
Good.
She was witness to me getting the papers, and she knew I was trying to
Don't tell me what she knew. She was a witness to you being served.
Correct.
Where were you served?
At my place of employment.
You mean she was picking up for lunch? What was she doing there when she was a witness to you?
I brought the papers over to her house that evening.
Then she wasn't a witness to you being served. You see, you got to be very careful what you say to me. She was not a witness to you being served, sir. You brought the papers home that night, and then you whip them out of your pocket and you say, ta-da.
I got served today.
Ah, there you go. I got served today. And she said to you,
What are you going to do about it?
And you said to her,
I'm going to try and get the funds from a family member or possibly a loan.
What family member was going to loan you money?
My sister.
Did you ask your sister?
No.
Why not?
Hadn't got there yet.
And she said to you?
She asked what I had done, and I looked into getting my own loan. Unfortunately, my wife at the time had scrapped a lot of our credit in the meantime.
So you were prepared to take out your own loan because you knew you had to have a lawyer, right?
Yep.
But for the fact that your ex-wife, or your wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, who she didn't know at the time, right? You didn't know her at the time.
Not personally, no, Your Honor.
No. But for the fact that she had scrapped your credit, you would have been able to get a loan and thoroughly anticipating paying it back.
Sure.
Of course. You can take out a loan without paying it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the discussion where you said to her, well, if you take out a personal loan, because you knew she was taking out a personal loan, right? Just like you were going to take out. What are you looking at me like I'm talking a foreign language? I'm still talking English. I'm still talking English. You know, the concept isn't very hard. This is the same kind of personal loan that you were trying to take out, and you couldn't because of the lousy credit that your wife had inflicted upon you.
Almost. I was going to take a second against the house, pay off all of our debt so that neither my ex-wife or myself were in debt. And
well, she wasn't going to allow you to do that. Listen to me. She wasn't going to allow you to. I know I gave you a minute to think, but you're not an idiot. I don't think you're an idiot. So your ex-wife is not going to allow you to take out a second mortgage on the house in order to pay for a lawyer to fight her. That would be very dumb. And your soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't sound like she's dumb.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Vila says ex-boyfriend Jacob Johnston owes for a loan to hire a lawyer. Jacob claims Janelle offered the money.
How many payments did you give her on this loan?
I don't remember making any payments to her.
How many payments did he make?
One, Your Honor.
When?
The first payment due July 5th, 2004. He paid
That
me.
sound familiar to you, sir?
I remember giving her $200 because she was tight. I didn't expect to be paying back anything at that point.
Well, when did you decide, Mr. Johnston, that you no longer wanted to be involved with Miss Avila?
After she became aggressive and upset.
Month
because
and year.
June of 04.
So within 4 weeks or so of getting this money, you took a hike.
I had taken a hike prior to that.
Tell me about that, sir.
We spent a lot of time up until the end together, up until the end of 04.
Listen to me.
I had...
May of 04, you took the check, paid for the lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what you're saying to me, sir. Be very, very careful, because you said to me that you were served with the papers May 6th.
So
you took the papers and you brought them home and showed them to her and said, gee, I got served. So at what point had you broken up prior to that?
Okay, so at the end of 04, December, I had stopped spending nearly as much time with her and told her that I needed more space, and I didn't
Well, what
think...
was June of 04 that you just told me about, sir?
03.
Shh.
Or
What
03, excuse me, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. We weren't spending
You're talking
nearly
about
as
in
much time.
December of 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I wanted my space. I didn't think she was the right one to introduce to my daughter.
Then what'd you take her money for?
We had spent some time...
Why did you take her money?
Because I'd helped her out through a lot of difficult times, and she asked if she could give me the money because of all the help I had given her.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
See, I knew I was going to let you talk. Let's talk about character. You're not supposed to use people, Mr. Johnston.
It's never my intention to use it.
It was. When you put someone in debt in order to satisfy your need, when you have no legitimate intentions, because she had legitimate intentions, she still cared about you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I still cared about her, too.
That's not what you just told me. You said I needed listen to me, I needed my space. I didn't think she was the one to introduce to my daughter. All of those things, then you don't put her in debt. And once you're back to work, and if you did stop seeing her 4 weeks later, you say, Janelle, listen, at the time I really needed the money. I thank you for taking out this personal loan. I don't want you to be behind the 8 ball. I'm going to pick up the payments because I had thoroughly intended to take out a loan myself to pay a lawyer. And since I couldn't get the credit, you were great to help me out. But I'm going to take over the payments. We're no longer together. We're not related to each other. I'm not going to see you anymore. I'm moving on with my life. I don't want you to feel as if you've been put upon. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's being a moral person. So I wouldn't allow you to represent toilet paper, sir. Because that's what I think of your moral character if you stuck her with this loan. Judge for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Perhaps he had no money to repay since he wasn't working. You know, can't get blood out of a turnip.
It comes back to some of those personal issues that I'd rather not bring up.
Ladies, if you see this man coming, hang on to your money and run the other way.
Maker Rose Macias is suing her brother, electrician Juan Macias, for throwing her to the ground and injuring her back. Juan says it was Rose who attacked him.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 149 on the calendar in the matter of Macias versus Macias. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Macias, the defendant is your brother, and according to what I've read, you claim that he assaulted you almost 2 years ago. You want to be compensated for your injuries, your pain and suffering, your lost wages, etc. And your brother tells me that you were at his house, that you were the aggressor, that he asked you to leave, you refused to leave, and he was merely defending himself.
That's correct.
I gather that this problem between you and your brother started over your mother.
Yes.
When did this alleged assault take place?
May 17th, 2002.
And with whom was your mother living at the time?
She was only staying at his house temporarily.
How long had she been at your house?
About 2.5 years.
Prior to that, where had she been living?
In her home in Texas until she had a stroke.
Did she ever live with your sister prior to 2002?
No, ma'am.
Correct?
Not correct, Your Honor.
When did she live with you?
Immediately, 4 months after her stroke, while she was recovering, I took her back home to Texas. And we were there for 4 or 5 months. And then he asked her to come back because he was telling her that her...
I don't care. He took her back to his house.
Right.
All right. And she lived there not for a couple of days. She was staying there for at least a year.
Not consistently, Your Honor.
Oh, don't play with me, Miss Macias. Don't play with me. You want to tell me what happened, Miss Macias, on May 17th?
My mother had been asking me to pick her up because she was bored at his house. I went to pick her up, and I hadn't been there but 3 minutes before he showed up, Your Honor. He started to tell me that I was not supposed to be there. I did not know that. As I'm waiting for her to gather her medication, I'm helping her gather some clothing of her from her suitcase because the prior time she had been in my house.
Just tell me the story. He came home at 9:15 and he told you weren't supposed to be there.
Right.
And you said to him what?
I said, I just came for my mother, and he asked me to leave, and I told him I needed her medication. I could not leave without her medication.
So he asked you to leave?
Yes, and I said I cannot leave until I get her my mother's medication. So he started pushing me out the door. The beating started. He started pushing me out the door. I told him I just want my mother's medication, and he kept on pushing me and pushing me. Eventually, I just kind of blacked out. I just fell and stood up and fell and stood up. He kept on hitting me. I don't know where the punches were coming from. Eventually, I just stood up, and I tried to kick him in the groin. I could not lift my leg up very much. My back had gone out. I had a little problem with my back. I could not lift my leg very high at all. And he grabbed my leg and shoved it over my head, shoving me against the door. And even though I have a certain amount of flexibility, the fact that my back was out at the time just really, really caused me a lot of...
Why didn't you leave when he told you to leave?
Because I needed her medicine.
You didn't need her medicine. You needed to leave.
I wanted my mother.
You come back another time for your mother. If your brother tells you to leave his home, if you remain in his home and he tells you to leave, you're trespassing.
Well, I wanted to get her clothing. I couldn't take her without she wasn't prepared.
Is there a guardianship in this case of your mother?
Your Honor, there is. I am my mother's conservator.
Can I see the papers, please?
Yes, ma'am.
You have photographs of the assault, Miss Macias?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
May I see them, please? These are rulings by the court which suggests that your brother has conservatorship over your mother.
Yes.
Really, the limited purpose of assuring that she received proper daily medical care. The court did not believe that you were in a position at that time to assume that responsibility, despite the fact that your mother seemed to indicate that you would be her preference. The court also noted in its order that you had a difficult time controlling yourself during the course of the hearings. Did you act out during the course of the hearings?
Only on 2 occasions, Your Honor, when he made very serious allegations and accusations. I was really upset because this has been going on since my mom got sick, and he has dragged me to court repeatedly trying to get restraining orders to keep me away from my mother. And I was just very upset, and this has been the hardest thing for me. I've had to go to group therapy because he has upset me.
Are you on medication, Ms. Macias?
No, Your Honor.
Had you been?
In the beginning, when I went to group therapy, before this went to the conservatorship, yes, I was taking medication for stress and depression, Your Honor. I was very upset over...
It's suggested, but it's not discussed in here, but I assume that that's true.
Well, I just could not control my nerves, Your Honor.
Who took these photographs?
My son.
Okay. Most of the black and blue marks that are here were around the arm.
Yes.
Looks as if someone's trying to restrain you. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Macias, you want to tell me what happened?
Yes, ma'am. On the day of 5/17/2002, I did have the occasion to come by my house in the morning. I had forgotten keys that I needed while on the job. I was on duty at the time. And I found my sister inside my home after I had asked her several times. I did not want her anywhere near my family because we had a record of legal incidents that had transpired up to that point. She had filed restraining orders. I had filed restraining orders. We had gone back and forth.
Put your hand down, Ms. Macias.
We had gone back and forth. And we had gotten to the point where she was no longer a person that was welcome in my home.
How long had it been since your mother was out of your home?
She had just been with my sister a few days earlier for Mother's Day, the weekend before. It's just 5 days earlier.
You took her there to her house?
I believe that, I don't remember who took who. I believe that she picked her up. I don't recall the exact.
Okay, so that wasn't a problem.
It was 5 days prior.
So it wasn't a problem. She was, in fact, seeing her.
Yes, she was.
So tell me what happened when you got home looking for your keys.
When I got home, I was surprised to find her, and I asked her to please remove herself. I asked her what she was doing there, and she said she was helping Mom get her things together because she was going to take her. And I asked her, how long are you going to take her for so I can give you the right amount of pills for my mom? And she said, it's none of your business. I'll take her as long as I want to keep her. And I said, well, then, Rose, she's not going with you. And furthermore, I want you to get out of my house. So she says, I will get out of your house whenever I feel like it. She starts waving her hand in front of my face and using the F word multiple times. So I walked up to the front door. I opened it. I asked her to walk out. And when she refused to walk out, I grabbed her by the blouse, by the arm. Maybe she may have sustained those bruises. And I started walking her backwards towards the door. She immediately turned around and attacked me with martial arts moves.
Just tell me how she did that.
She tried to kick me in the face. I have pictures to show my injuries also. She tried to kick me in the face, which I blocked with the back part of my right arm. And then she repositioned and double punched me karate style below my left collarbone. And then she came down and tried to kick me in the groin. At that point, I blocked her kick, and I was able to hold on to her leg and raised it. And as she stated earlier, she fell inside my home, striking a piece of furniture, a china cabinet, with the back of her hand.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Her brother, Juan Macias, assaulted her by throwing her to the ground. Juan says Rose was trespassing in his home.
Where is your mother living now?
Everywhere.
What do you mean everywhere?
She bounces around from state to state, Your Honor. Ever since he got her conservatorship, immediately after he received it, he told me over the phone that my mother staying at his house was jeopardizing his job, his marriage, and his lifestyle. He has never wanted to take care of her, Your Honor. I have been her primary caretaker.
Could you just tell me where she has been living for the past year?
She has been living mostly at her home at my mother's request. After this incident happened, we went to court, and the court asked my mother again where she would prefer to reside. And based on everything that happened, and she witnessed this, she was scared, and she said, I'd rather go live with my sister at this point.
Ms. Macias.
Yes.
Your mother was interviewed by the police.
Yes.
And clearly, if your mother is living with you now, your mother was not angry with you. Your mother said that she was there during this entire incident, and at no time did she ever see your brother punch you or kick you, as you have described. She, as a matter of fact, specifically says that that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that to me?
Yes. Your Honor, when the police department asked me what had happened, I told them that I just remember feeling punches and kicks. I didn't know. I just remember falling over and over again.
Your mother was there.
That's right. She was there, Your Honor.
And your mother said that she observed exactly what happened. Do you want me to tell you what she said?
I know exactly what she says, Your Honor.
Ms. Macias, I don't know why you're here. You both behaved badly 2 years ago. He could have been a little more temperate. He told you to leave his house. You didn't leave his house. He had the right to escort you out. You both behaved badly. What I want to know is why 2 years down the road you are deciding to sue him.
I really was trying to honor my mother's respect because my mother's begging me not to bring her to court against both of us.
Right, she's absolutely right. So
right.
Why didn't you honor her now?
And that was the reason.
So why didn't you honor her now?
Because after I found out that the DA's office had not taken care of it, Your Honor, and I continue to have so many problems and pains, and I ended up having to have a back surgery and a broken finger through this, Your Honor. I have all the records here and the doctor's report.
When you go to someone's home, even if it's your brother's home, and he tells you to leave, that you're not welcome there, and there's been a long history of applications for protective orders by you and by your brother, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to leave. You're not supposed to argue with him.
I didn't argue, Your Honor. I just told him I needed my mother's medicine and her clothing.
Then you leave without your mother, and you make arrangements to come back and get her another time.
Well, I didn't
If
want
he
to.
tells you to leave, Miss Macias, it's not as if you hadn't seen your mother. You saw her, according to him, 5 days before at your house for Mother's Day. And he hasn't prevented you from picking her up. That day, he told you he wanted you to leave. That's what you should have done. I think that you both behaved badly, but it doesn't require a lawsuit 2 years later, and it doesn't require court involvement. And I certainly believe that you should have honored your mother's wishes, because it's a family dispute, and it should have stayed within the family. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This is actually, I believe, the 8th or 9th time we have faced each other off in court.
All I can say is this guy is like a very, very pathological liar.
The restraining orders had to do with her stalking my young son at school.
I have never stalked his son in any way. Me and his son loved each other very much.
She threatened violence before, and she's trained in martial arts, and she's trained by the police academy. She likes to shoot, and she owns a 9mm Smith & Wesson that she's very good with.
First of all, I have never attended the police academy, which is another one of his professional lies.
I believe justice was served. I think the judge took the right avenue by seeing through the false accusations, and I feel vindicated.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Thomas versus Green. Step forward.
Account manager Lizette Thomas is suing her nephew's uncle, customer service rep Antonio Green Sr., for a $1,700 cell phone bill. Lizette says Antonio's son stole her nephew's phone and gave it to a girl.
No, I'd like these two young men to come and stand next to their respective parents, guardians. This is your nephew.
Correct.
And you gave him a cell phone.
Yes.
So that he could be in touch with you for emergencies.
Yes.
He lost it.
Correct.
And somehow Mr. Green's son found it. And according to you, Mr. Green's son gave it away.
Yes.
And whoever he gave it away to had a very big mouth. And you got a phone bill for how much?
$1,700.
$1,700. So you want Mr. Green to be responsible for that.
Yes.
Mr. Green says, I didn't use the cell phone. My son didn't use the cell phone. Why should he be responsible?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When did your aunt give you the cell phone?
Late July.
And why did she give you the cell phone?
For emergencies.
How long did you have it?
About a month.
Until late August?
Yes.
And what happened to it?
I gave it to my coach. We went to a game, and I asked him to hold it, and I left it with him, and we all left.
So what did you do?
I called him and asked him, did he have it? He said yes. I asked him, could he hold it for me? He said yes.
When did you go and get it from him?
I didn't.
Well, why not?
Because I thought if I told my parents, they were going to think I was irresponsible.
That doesn't make sense, what you just said to me. Could you get there by bus?
Yes.
So why didn't you run right over and get it?
I wasn't thinking that time.
Right. You weren't thinking. Now, what's your first name?
Antonio.
Antonio, how did you get this phone?
I found it in the coach bag, and I gave it to this girl trying to impress her.
Just, okay. Don't go through. We have to do this slowly, because I have to get things step by step. You found it in the coach's bag when?
Around late August, around the 28th, during the 1st of September.
When you say you found it in the coach's bag, what were you doing in the coach's bag?
Just going in it, sneaking around.
So you stole the phone out of the bag.
Right.
And what did you do with it when you stole the phone out of the bag?
I gave it to this girl. At that time, it was my girlfriend.
And what did you say to her?
I gave her the phone, told her she could use it.
So, Mr. Green.
Yes, ma'am.
See, this is something he didn't put in his answer, that he stole the phone.
Well, yes, I knew that he retrieved the phone.
Not retrieved.
Well, stole the phone.
manager Stephen Burnley is suing his ex-fiancée, Courtney Belluccio, for a credit card and rent.
Order. All rise.
Yes, case number 263 on the calendar in the matter of Burnley versus Belluccio. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Burnley, according to what I've read, the defendant was your former fiancée. She lived with you for a period of time. You claim that she owes you for two things. First, for rent for several months that she lived there and she didn't pay you rent. And second, for a credit card loan that you paid off for her and that she agreed to repay. The defendant says that while she was there was not an agreement for rent, that in quite the opposite, she was really treated more like a maid than anything else. She cooked and cleaned and took care of you and your children and the house. And in addition, while she does acknowledge that there was a loan for her credit card debt that she had, she says that she agreed to leave certain items at the house when she left that more than cover the balance of the loan, some of which she had already paid to you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Burnley, when did you start to date Ms. Belluccio?
February of 1998.
And in February of, because I've read these papers very carefully, in February of 1998, sir, you were married.
Yes.
And how old were you?
36.
And how old was Ms. Belluccio?
19.
Is that right?
I was 18.
And where did you meet her?
At work.
What kind of work did you do?
It's a convenience store.
What were you doing at the convenience store?
I was her boss.
So you were her boss. She was 18 years old. She was going to school?
Yes.
College?
Yes.
And she was working besides, going to school full time?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had you been separated from your wife?
10 years almost.
Are you divorced now?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Long story. She was supposed to pay for the divorce.
I have time, sir.
Okay.
And it's a long story,
Yeah.
but I guarantee it's not such a long story.
It was a matter of principle that she would, when we had split up, she had taken all the furniture and stuff like that, and she was supposed to pay for a divorce, and that she never did.
Stubborn sucker, aren't you?
Yes.
You have children?
Yes.
How old are they?
11 and 12.
Now, when did Miss Belluccio move in with you?
July of 1999.
And did you become engaged at that time?
No.
When did you become engaged?
I do not remember approximately. She asked me to marry her first, and at that time I said that I believe she should be at least 25 before she gets married, so she knows what she's getting into.
And did you ever change your story?
I asked her to marry me a couple of years later.
Did you give her a ring?
Yes.
And you're still not divorced?
Correct.
How did you plan to carry that out, sir?
I procrastinate, but I believed that I would have it done before we would get married.
That's usually the way things go.
Right.
I want you to tell me about this rent that you claim she owes you.
In July of 99, I purchased a home. I did not believe it was a good idea for her to move in at that time, but it happened that way. The agreement was, though, that at that time the living expenses cost $800.
What were the living expenses?
Well, the mortgage was $550, electric, phone, stuff like that. They came to approximately $800. She did agree to pay $400.
Why would she pay off your mortgage? Was the house in her name?
I wouldn't call it paying my mortgage. It was half the living expenses.
She was living with you, and I assume sharing your bed. Right?
Correct.
Who took care of the chores around the house?
She did.
Didn't you think you were a little old for her, Mr. Burnley?
Yes.
Didn't you think that a guy who's 36 years old and married should have nothing to do with an 18-year-old girl who's working, going to school, trying to do the right thing? She want to get hooked up with you for it. You can't even get yourself off the horse after 10 years. Huh?
She told me age didn't matter to her.
She told you
She
age
told me
didn't
that.
matter. She's
Yeah.
18 years old. You're a grown man. Age matters. There are a lot of things that matter that people say don't matter. They matter. It is your statement that you did not have an agreement with him for rent. Is that right?
There was no formal agreement. There were times when we did say, give what you can. There were times when Stephen had 2 roommates where he didn't expect a penny from me. And then there were times we actually did, in September of 2003, have a formal rent agreement.
Okay. What was your agreement?
That I would pay him $300 and that I would pay for groceries.
Okay, and when did you move out?
November of 2003, at the end.
Okay, so for 3 months.
Correct. I always contributed to the household, whether it be projects or whether it be I paid for all the groceries. There may have been 1 month in the 4 years that we lived together that Stephen bought groceries. But I did all the household chores, and I assisted him with several projects. I have pictures of his whole house has been changed. I paid for a lot of those things.
Like what?
Painting. I helped him paint. We did the whole back patio, and I paid for several flowers to go in the ground, at least $250 a summer.
Clifford Johnson is suing bail bondsman Michael Fidelis for attorney fees after Michael refused to surrender a bailee.
Yeah, this is case number 511 on the calendar, the matter of Johnson versus Fidelis. Trials have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Johnson, did you ever hear the expression when you were growing up, good guys finish last?
Yes, I've heard it, and I found that out.
You're the good guy?
Yes, I am.
I don't necessarily think he's the bad guy. Let me see if I can explain to my comrade over here what this case is about. You had an employee,
right?
A woman.
Yes.
What kind of business are you in?
I'm in the plumbing business. service and repair.
And what did this woman do for you?
She answered telephones and did some light office work.
And then there came a time when she was arrested.
Correct.
What was she arrested for?
It was 3 felony drug charges.
And she asked you if you would post her bail.
Correct.
And here's where we get the good guys finish last. You said, okay.
I didn't say okay right away. She called me 6 times begging to get me out, begging to get her out, and I wasn't going to do it. Then she said, look, I'll sign my cover with you if you get me out. I said, are you sure you want to do that? I says, okay, I'll get you out. So I didn't think there was going to be that big of a deal. It did turn out to be a big deal, though.
So you posted the bail and with this gentleman?
Mr. Fidelis, yes.
And how much did you have to actually give him in cash?
It was $2,515. The bail was $25,000, 10%.
And that means that if she failed to appear, since you are saying I will vouch for her, you would have been responsible for the entire $25,000 if she chose not to appear.
Correct. That's the way the contract is written, yes.
Is that correct so far?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Bare bones. And subsequently, she was terminated from her job.
Correct.
You got nervous.
Well, she became...
So you called Mr. Fidelis.
Correct.
And what did you say to him?
Well, I told her, I says, the only reason I'll go to the bail bondsman right now to have you put back in jail is because you don't have any place to go outside the state of California. She goes, oh, yes, I do. And I also know the state of California would never come and extradite me. And I advised her the financial risk I took in getting her out of jail. So after hearing this, I then contacted Mr. Fidelis about to say, I want her back in jail. I want out of this bond. And on the 28th...
Just a second. We're not...
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't get ahead of me.
Okay.
So you contacted Mr. Fidelis. Mr. Fidelis did not pick her up.
I did not pick her up, Your Honor.
And that caused you to hire an attorney.
Correct.
To go to court, make a motion to have this bail forfeited. Plus you had to lose days at your business because
Correct.
You went to several court hearings.
Yes.
And you want Mr. Fidelis to pay you back for your legal fees and for your lost time at work because
Correct.
He didn't pick her up and get you off the hook. That's what your lawsuit.
Basically, yes.
So you contacted Mr. Fidelis, and Mr. Fidelis said what?
He agreed to pick her up. He signed a document. He and I both signed it on the 28th of June.
Can I see it, please?
Your Honor, I did not agree to pick her up.
Just a second. I want to see the document that he says you signed that you would pick her up. This is a request for
Correct.
surrender of defendant.
Correct.
And release from liability. And it says that you have information that would lead the court to believe that there is increased potential for the defendant's flight. You signed it, and he signed it.
Correct.
Where does it say here that he agrees to pick her up?
He agreed verbally that he would...
Just a second. He doesn't say here that he agrees to pick her up.
I understand that document there, yes.
Okay.
But he did tell me, in this letter that I did address to him, that he would have his people pick her up. Okay, he agreed. He quoted me a fee. I asked him what it was going to be. It's going to be $500 to $600. He says, fine, pick her up. I'll pay it. He never would. He had me sitting around the office with her because I wanted to be there, make sure she was there, so there wasn't going to be any problems.
What date was this?
It was signed on the 28th. On the 30th, I called him to notify her that she could come, that he could come pick her up, which he never did. He kept promising he was going to pick her up. Here's bail agent.
Just a second. You said to him on the 30th, he signed this, and you signed this.
It was signed on the 28th.
And then on the 30th, you called him and said, well, come pick her up. She's in the office.
Right.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
And what did he say to you?
He told me that he was going to contact his bail agent and that he would have her picked up. I kept calling him about every 30 minutes asking, why are they here? He would never call me back. And then he promised me he was going to come personally and pick her up and take her into custody before the day was out. He never showed up.
Okay. Now, what happened on that day, sir, the 30th of June?
I don't recall that day, Your Honor. On the 25th...
25th of what?
The plaintiff of June, 2004.
I'm talking about the 30th, 2 days after you signed this request for surrender.
Nothing happened that day, Your Honor.
Well, he says that he contacted your office several times.
No, these are all false statements that the plaintiff is making.
Okay. Did you know this lady from any previous time? Had you ever had any previous dealings with her?
No, Your Honor.
She was a stranger to you?
Yes.
What did you tell Mr. Johnson when you signed this?
If at any time she became a risk at any time, you would have to justify and give good cause to surrender her over to the court. Now,
Just a second. How did you tell him to do that?
By picking her up himself and surrendering her over to the proper authorities.
Did you tell him, just a second?
Yes.
Did you tell him that?
Yes,
that he
I
has
did.
the right to take her by the arm
Yes.
and bring her to court? You
Yes.
told him that?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
No, you didn't. You know, I can tell that because you looked at the floor when you said that. I don't believe it, and I don't believe that it's even appropriate for somebody to grab somebody else by the arm and say, I'm dragging you to court. I can just imagine what would go on in this town if that happened. It would be a free-for-all. So he's
Your
saying
Honor.
listen to me. He's saying to a professional, I want you to pick her up.
I cannot, Your Honor.
Fine. Then you have to tell him what to do.
And I did. I gave him all the information. By the laws of the state, he could have done whatever he wished at that point.
Then what does this say, sir? Then what is this for? What is this surrender document
The
for?
surrender
Just so
document-
that you're on alert for something?
Your Honor, that document is a standard document that is required when and if you surrender the defendant over. He did not show good cause.
Just a second. He did not show good cause.
For the surrender of the defendant.
To whom?
To myself.
Ah, here we go.
Yes.
Well, we're going to get there. I want to tell you something. We're going to get there to where I want to be, whether you like it or not. We understand each other?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what you're saying is what he told you about the conversation that he had with this lady was not sufficient in your judgment to pick her up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Says bail bondsman Michael Fidelis owes for attorney fees and lost wages. Clifford says when Michael refused to surrender a bailee, he had to hire a lawyer.
Now, in June, did she make a court appearance?
Yes, I actually have the docket showing she made over 9 appearances, each and every time over a 7-month duration.
Did there ever come a time she failed to appear?
No, she did not.
Is that correct, sir?
No, it's not correct. She failed to appear on December 1st, and I have the court document where the judge issued a $50,000 warrant for arrest.
Let me see both documents, please, Bert.
Right here, highlighted.
On December 1st, bail was exonerated. That's when you had a lawyer come in with you?
They posted the day before with the court.
He has bench warrant issued.
Warrant, Your Honor, if...
Bail is set at $50,000, mandatory appearance.
Well, Your Honor, she had hired private counsel, and her presence was not required on December 1st. That's why the bond was exonerated and not forfeited on December 1st. If she was ordered to appear on December 1st and she was not present, the bond would have been forfeited, not exonerated, regardless of the motion defense counsel, the third party for the plaintiff, had filed.
The judge on the same date issued a bench warrant for her arrest with $50,000 bail, sir.
Yes.
If she wasn't required to be there, he wouldn't have issued a warrant for her.
Then why wasn't she detained on December 16th?
I don't know, sir, why she wasn't detained on December 16th.
That's obviously an error of the court.
All I'm telling you is a bench warrant was issued for her on December 1st. Your problem, Mr. Johnson, is that after June, when you requested that he pick her up,
Yes.
she appeared June 17th, July 19th, August 2nd, September 20th, October 13th, November 2nd. She appeared on all those dates.
She sure did.
She sure did. Well, you got a problem, sir. That's why nice guys finished last. She did
Your Honor.
make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 appearances before December 12th.
Your Honor, from the attorneys that represented me, they told me that there's a California law that
Listen
requires...
to me. You cannot tell me what the attorneys told you. That's
Okay.
hearsay. And what I'm telling you is I'm trying to be reasonable with you.
No, I
I don't think
understand.
that he's being honest with me as to what your conversations were with each other, and also initially whether or not he had a responsibility to act on your information. But if I look at the objective data, Mr. Johnson, this defendant, not this defendant, but this defendant did in fact make 6 court appearances. And you had the ability during each of those court appearances to go in, to hire a lawyer, do the exact same thing as you did on December 1st and say, listen, I have this information and I don't want to be responsible for this bail anymore. Ultimately, the case was resolved.
She was sentenced to jail.
Ultimately, the case was resolved. She pled guilty, but she did, in fact, appear on 6 other court dates.
She barely made 2 of those court payments.
Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, nice guys finish last. Don't post bond for anybody anymore. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
crazy.
What I think is the real motive is he has something going on with her.
No, I do not. I personally think, after speaking with the defendant in the criminal case, that he wanted something more than an employee-employer relationship.
He was calling her, trying to get her to go out and date. On a date is what he was doing.
I do not appreciate his defamatory and slandering comments.
There are other girls in my office that told me this stuff. They overheard conversation between him and her.
I explained to her, I have nothing to do with that. You need to appear in court when you're ordered to, and finish your case.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Webb versus Batum, step forward.
21-year-old Philip Webb is suing his ex-fiancée, 19-year-old cashier Crystal Batum, for rent and the return of a wedding ring set. Crystal says Philip is stalking her.
Are you scared to death or just unhappy?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Cheer up. It's only money. Mr. Webb, Ms. Batum used to be your girlfriend. You lived together for a period of time at some point in your mother's house. Is this your mother?
Yes.
You broke up, and you claimed that Ms. Batum came to the house and she took a ring set that you purchased.
Yes.
You want the ring set back. And in addition, you say that Ms. Batum also owes you for a month's rent.
Yeah, for her half of the rent.
Her half of the rent when you were living at your mother's house.
Yes.
Ms. Batum says she paid for the ring set and that there was never any arrangement to pay rent to your mother. Neither of you ever paid rent to your mother. Is that right?
Yeah.
When did you start to live with Ms. Batum in your mother's house?
In August, my mother...
August of what year?
2004. My mother had spoke with us in August and told us, now that, both of us are working with a steady income, she wanted us to pay $300 a month rent.
Mm-hmm.
And then September 23rd is when she left. And
did she agree to pay your mother $300 a month rent?
Yes, we both did.
When in August did your mother have this conversation with you?
Around the middle of the month.
And when did she expect you to start to pay rent?
She expected us to start to pay rent the following month.
In September?
Yes.
And she moved out in September?
She moved out in the end of September.
Mr. Webb, you got to get over this. So did you pay your mother $300 on September 1st? You have a check for that, I assume?
No, I paid her cash. I paid her around the middle of the month when I had gotten my paycheck.
And what about in October? Did you pay her in October?
No, I had moved out.
When in October?
I moved out around the 5th, 6th of October.
And you mean you didn't pay her for October? For the first 6 days in October? You understand what I'm saying to you,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Webb? Oh,
understand.
you're getting my gist. Stop being petty. Now let's forget about the rent. And let's go to the ring set.
The ring set, I have the receipt where I purchased it.
Good. Do you have the proof that you paid for it?
I paid in cash. So
Really? Let me see.
And the lady's business card that sold it to me.
I want to
I have
see what
that
you
also.
have. And then Miss Batum says that she paid for the ring set. So we're going to see. Paid for the ring set. This says paid $500, tax included. Now, Miss Batum, you left sometime in September.
Yeah.
You had an argument, or you just decided things
No,
weren't
I got tired of everything and I just up and left.
Tell me why you took the ring set.
Well, because we both went in halves on it. We went to the bank, we pulled out some of the money, and then he went back and gave them the rest. And it wasn't $500, it was $300.
Well, he has a receipt that he paid for this.
Well, I have the rings, so.
We have them. Do you have any proof whatsoever, Miss Batum, that you paid for these rings?
No, because it came out of the ATM.
Okay. Good. Very nice. He gets them back. Perfect. Anything else?
No, that's it.
I want him to leave me alone, too, because I have a restraining order against him. And on February 12th, he mailed me a letter.
Can I see the letter? Can I see a copy of a restraining order? You attended a hearing, Mr. Webb, with regard to this restraining order?
Yes.
Did you consent to the restraining order?
I consented, but I didn't agree with it because
I don't care
a
whether
lot
you
of it
agreed
was...
with it or not. You consented to it.
Yes,
you were
I
to
did.
stay away within 100 yards from her
And I have
from
done
her home and from her job, right?
Yes.
It was her birthday?
Yes.
That's why you sent these?
Yes.
You're not allowed to send them.
I didn't know that. I just was told I had to stay away from her work and stay away from her.
Listen to me, Mr. Webb. You were served with a copy of this protective order.
Yes.
In this protective order, it not only says that you have to stay 100 yards away from her, it reads, and I'm going to read it to you very carefully. You may not do the following. You may not contact her directly or indirectly, or telephone, send messages, or mail or email. Now, while this is not threatening,
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a love letter. You're not understanding that it's over and that she doesn't want you to have any contact with her. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You don't want to get into any further difficulty. Is there any other thing that I have to resolve with regard to property or anything else?
Yeah, I have one more thing. I left my birth certificate there. I need my birth certificate back.
Okay. Now you can stand up. Your last name is Webb?
Correct.
You have her birth certificate?
I do.
Okay. I want you to give her birth certificate to your mother. Your mother is going to mail it to this court. This court will see to it that you get it.
Okay. May I say something, please?
Yes.
I know you already went over the rent issue, but I have to bring it up again. It was August 2003. She was the only one with a job at that point.
I'm telling you, you spoke to her in the middle of August. She moved out in September. We're talking about petty stuff, Miss Webb.
I understand that, but
I'm telling you that you're talking about petty stuff. Your son moved out into the month of October. Did you sue him for the rent?
No, because he did give me a full...
Just a second. Did you sue him for the rent?
No, I did not,
Of
ma'am.
course not, because you're not petty. Right? Your son has to get over the fact that she doesn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. And you should, as his mother, not exacerbate it, but you should say, listen.
No, I just want what's mine, and she owes the rent.
Well, I think that you should speak to your son about it.
He already paid her half.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Okay, good. You have a check?
No.
You have a check?
He paid me in cash
You have
for
a check?
$300.
Good. I don't believe you. Sit down. There is no need for you to contact her anymore. Put a period. You have the rings. You're not to email her, mail her, phone her, follow her, be within 100 yards of her. Got it?
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. The fact that I've told this to you doesn't prevent her from going back to court and saying you violated the order. She can still do that. I don't know whether she wants to do that, but what she wants is she wants you to know unequivocally that you're not to have any contact with her. Clear?
Yes, I'm
Good.
perfectly
That's
clear.
all.
Step out, sir. Right here.
I was out with my friend, and he was accusing me of cheating on him.
Well, she was cheating on me.
She told me that she was going to go out with a guy from work, and she was gone all day.
I'm just glad it's over with. He's a loser. I'm glad I'm gone with him.
Now it just kind of, I'm more mad about it now than I am heartbroken.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dowling versus Shelley. Step forward, please.
Artist Megan Dowling is suing computer support technician Keith Shelley for the cost to fix a marble table. Megan says the table was damaged when a drunken Keith fell on it.
Miss Dowling, according to your complaint, Mr. Shelley, while in your home, broke a table, an antique table of yours.
Correct.
You want him to pay to have it repaired. Now, how do you know Mr. Shelley?
He's an employee of a friend of mine.
How did it come about that he was at your home?
Well, I had gone over to my friend's place of employment. He owns a warehouse where he works, and Keith was working there. And the friend brought out a bunch of wine after work, and we were sipping wine, and we all went to dinner after that.
So first you were drinking at the warehouse?
Correct.
How long did that drinking last at the warehouse?
Oh, about 45 minutes.
After you finished drinking at the warehouse, you all went out for dinner. How many people went out for dinner?
4.
Raise your hands. 1, 2. Either of you there? Raise your hand if you all went out for dinner.
No, I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
Who do you live with?
I had a roommate, this gentleman over here, Bill Gaylord, who's a witness.
Were you there when this happened with the table?
Yes, I was.
But you had not been out for dinner with them?
No, I have not.
So first you went out for dinner, 4 of you. And how long was dinner?
Pretty short. It's about an hour.
Did you drink?
I think I had a half a glass of wine.
Well, you had been drinking at the warehouse.
I had a glass of wine.
Okay. How did Mr. Shelley end up back at your house?
I invited my friends and Mr. Shelley for a postprandial cocktail.
A what?
A post-dinner cocktail, a nightcap. I had some very excellent rum, and I thought I'd introduce them to...
And what time did you get back to your house?
Oh, I don't know, approximately 8.
But none of the other friends took you up on it, only Mr. Shelley, according to your complaint.
They originally were going to come over, but then they decided to not come after all.
And Mr. Shelley came over?
Correct.
And you gave him some of this wonderful rum?
Right.
What'd you drink?
I had some rum.
How much?
Oh, I don't know, about 2 drinks.
What about Mr. Shelley?
Well, he originally said he was going to have just 1 drink and then go. And I said, that's fine. I don't really want to share a very expensive, an entire bottle of rum with you.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, yeah. And so I poured us both a glass of rum, and he finished it, and he proceeded to grab the bottle of rum and continue to pour it on his own. And I was getting a little irritated.
Did you tell him to stop?
I said, yeah, slow down, big boy, you know, because he started to show signs of inebriation.
So you told him to slow down, but you didn't tell him to stop. When did you get home that evening, sir?
I got home about 10, maybe 15 minutes before the incident.
Why don't you step up here? Tell me your last name.
Gaylord.
You rent a room, share an apartment?
I was subletting a room from her at the time, yes.
Tell me what you saw when you came home.
They were sitting down together, having a drink.
And?
He was getting up just about to leave, and I was going to see him to the door, so I headed towards the front door, and the moment I had turned the back is when I heard the crash.
So he fell over a table?
More on it. So, large heavy marble top.
He wasn't hurt, was he?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Go ahead.
I also had told Keith to stay at my house a little longer before he left because I saw that he was a little inebriated. And I said, either you stay here or you take a cab home, but I'm not letting you drive like this, so.
Right, because you know what could happen?
I could get sued and he could hurt people.
You're right.
Yep.
You could get sued if he drove and hurt people.
I am well aware of that.
Because you served him alcohol in your house.
That's correct.
So if you know, Miss Dowling, that if you serve someone alcohol in your house and they become inebriated, and if they go out and if they get into their car, and if they injure somebody, you can be liable, right?
Yes.
Why don't you think you're liable for your own table?
Well, I detained him.
You can sit down now, sir. What you're claiming is that he was drunk and fell on your table. Well, that's what you said here.
Yeah, but I detained him for a couple of hours before he got up and decided that he was going to leave. And I said, are you sure you're okay? And he says, yeah, I feel fine. And he by all accounts...
That's what every drunk says when they get behind the wheel of a car.
Well, but he looked fairly lucid. And
just a minute, so he looked okay to you?
Well, I didn't give him a field sobriety test, but I mean...
All right, Mr. Shelley, let me hear your version of these events, sir.
The way the coffee table and the couches are, it's like an L couch, and the coffee tables don't give a lot of room for regaining one's balance when if you lose your stepping. Right there at the corner of the coffee table, the rugs, there's like rugs on top of the wall-to-wall carpeting. And I tripped on that. That could have happened whether I was drinking or not. And as I started falling, she starts yelling at me. Nothing about, are you okay? Just as I'm losing balance, she starts yelling. And of course, I went down on the table. It was some kind of antique thing, I'm really sorry that that happened, but...
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr.
Sure.
Shelley. Because I believe that you're probably sorry it happened, and I believe that Ms. Dowling is partially responsible. Did you ever say to her, listen, let me split the cost of fixing this table with you?
I don't recall exactly,
Let's say, put your hand down, Ms. Dowling. Let's say you didn't say it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that that's reasonable now?
That sounds reasonable now.
You had a little too much to drink?
Yeah.
She served you a little too much to drink?
It was right there on the coffee table.
Maybe she served you a little too much to drink.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that, Miss Dowling?
Well, first of all, the minute I saw that he was inebriated and he was grabbing the bottle and helping himself, I confiscated the alcohol.
Listen, you were probably three sheets to the wind yourself. You had started to drink at 5:30 in the afternoon. You were still drinking at, according to him, 10 o'clock at night, and according to you, you were still drinking rum. You had a rum with him.
I don't think 4 drinks over 5 hours.
You don't know whether he had 4 drinks or 14 drinks. How much did it cost to fix the table? And do you have a bill?
$500.
You have a bill?
Mm-hmm.
Let me have it.
Your Honor, I'd also like to say he went home later on that night. These guys poured him into a cab. They had to physically force him into a cab. And he never came back to get the table.
He shouldn't have come back to get the table. You're going to pay half the table, and he's going to pay half the table.
I attempted to ask him to
Isn't that right, sir? Because you think that that's just reasonable. You're a big grown-up. You're going to take a certain amount of responsibility for what you do, right?
Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Now, if I could only get Miss Dowling to take similar responsibility on her own, I would be a happy person today. But since I am not able to do that, I'm going to have to do it for her. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $250. That's all.
I wasn't inebriated, and I did confiscate the bottle.
I remember her taking that. I remember her saying it was very expensive rum.
He was taking the bottle and pouring his own drinks like it was water.
You know, it was good stuff.
It's expensive rum. It's delicious and heavenly rum, and I just didn't feel like having it all guzzled down, you know.
My question is, why is it sitting right there, you know, in front of me, and a glass with ice in it, waiting for me to, you know, help myself?
When I finally was able to talk to him, he said, well, you were the one plying me with alcohol.
I could get through the rest of my life without ever hearing from her again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lopez versus Valladares, step forward, please.
25-year-old nurse's aide, Karina Lopez, is suing her former friend, 27-year-old nursing attendant, City of Valladares, for ripping the seat of her car. Karina says the incident took place during a night of drinking and clubbing.
Ms. Lopez, on the 15th of January, you, the defendant, and a bunch of other friends decided to go clubbing. You met at somebody's house. According to you, the defendant started to drink. She also took some medication. She said she had a headache. She got very drunk. You went to the club. You drove in your car. The defendant tried to get into the club, and she was denied entrance to the club because, according to, I think, both of you, she was too drunk. They wouldn't let her in. So you put her in your car.
Right.
To sleep it off, and you went in with your friends to the club. And when you came out of the club, you found the defendant still in your car, and the seat in the car was cut. She says she doesn't remember doing anything to your car and doesn't know how that damage occurred. Do you have pictures of the car?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it. Now, is this on the front passenger seat or the rear
front passenger seat?
Is that the seat that she was sitting with driving to the club?
No.
Who was sitting in that passenger seat?
Miss Hara.
That's this lady?
Yes.
Okay. When she exited the car, what time was it?
Miss Hara, it was 10:30.
At night?
Right.
Dark?
Yes.
And you didn't examine the car when she left?
No.
Did you examine the car before she got into the car at 10:30?
Yes.
You looked in the car seat? Don't say anything that's not true. If you say anything that's not true, I will hold that suspect. If something doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. Do you understand?
Yes.
Where did you find Miss Valladares?
Yes.
When you came back to the car 2.5 hours later, where was she seated?
In the front passenger seat.
And what was she doing?
Sleeping.
Did you see any sharp objects in her hand?
No.
Did you see what had caused the damage to the car?
No.
Did anyone see what had caused the damage to the car?
No.
So how do you intend to prove that the defendant caused the damage to the car?
Well,
This looks like a tear. Looks like something got caught on it. That's what it looks like. It looks like something got caught on it.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to prove that she did it?
Well, before leaving for the club, Ms. Valladares and I met at Ms. Hara's residence, where Ms. Valladares had some alcohol drinks.
She's drunk. I've already laid the framework. She was drunk. You knew she was drunk. You went to the club. They wouldn't let her in. You put her in the car. You came out. She was still sitting, according to you, in the front seat of the car. And later on, you noticed the car was ripped.
As we helped Ms. Valladares exit the car, that's when I realized that there was a tear on the seat.
And you saw no sharp objects in her hand?
No. I did not search Ms. Valladares. I don't know what happened. All I know is that the tear was not there.
No, all you know is the tear was not there when she got into the car.
Right. Ms. Valladares was also experiencing a lot of pain. The reason why she took the pain reliever is because she had gotten her tongue pierced the previous day.
What does that have to do with, what does that have to do
well,
with
I'm assuming that maybe she was in a lot of pain, and I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know how it happened. Neither do you.
Your Honor, may I come up?
Sure.
When we went to drop off Celia to the car when Celia let her inside the club, the tear wasn't there.
You don't know that at all.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I helped Karina put her
You don't
in
know
the
that
car.
at all. Madam, listen to me.
There.
10:30 at night. It's dark. She's
dark.
getting into the car. You're struggling to get somebody who's drunk in the car. Don't lie. Miss Valladares says that you took her property and refused to give her back her property, her pocketbook, her keys, her cell phone, unless she agreed to pay for this. Did you do that?
No, Your Honor. Ms. Valladares left her property behind in my car. She called me later on the following day and said she would come by and pick up her belongings. She never showed up. On the 17th, I offered to deliver her belongings to her. She said she had a lot of things to do and was going to be unavailable that day. On the 22nd, when I finally seen her, I delivered all her belongings to her.
Were the police called at any point?
Yes.
Did you call the police?
Yes, Your Honor.
Police contact you?
Yes.
They told you you had to give her property back?
No, they contacted me because the police officers said that Ms. Valladares feared for her safety at work. That's what I was told.
At that point, did you give her back her property?
On the 22nd, when I
Just
finally
answer
seen
my
her.
question. After the police spoke to you, did you give her back her property?
No, they didn't ask for it, and they did not want to take possession of her property. I offered to give her property to the police officer because I was unable to contact Ms. Valladares.
Okay. Get a patch for the seat, madam. You cannot establish that, to my satisfaction, that she caused the damage to your car, and you have no right to take her property and hold it hostage. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was just going out to have fun with somebody, and because I felt that I could trust her.
When Ms. Valladares exited the car, I seen the tear.
She said that somebody was going to get killed if I didn't pay for her car.
Not true.
We don't have a friendship no more. I thought she was a good friend before, but apparently not.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Chun. Step forward, please.
Daycare provider Laurie Jones is suing her former client, customer service rep Nina Chum, for unpaid babysitting fees and for making false allegations to Child Protective Services.
Mrs. Jones, you run a daycare agency?
Yes, I do.
And you were contacted by the defendant who asked you if you would take care of her children.
Yes.
You did for a short period of time. During the last week, according to you, she gave you a check and then stopped payment on that check. She later removed her children from your care. You want that check, which was $90.
Yes.
And also, it is your claim that she maliciously contacted the State Department of Social Services, who licenses you, and reported that children in your care were being given substandard care. And you want to be compensated for that because it put you out of business for a while. The defendant says that you did, in fact, give her children substandard care, and she is counterclaiming for all the money she paid you for her children's care and for punitive damages.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Chum, how did you find Mrs. Jones?
Well, I was looking for daycare for my children.
How old are your children?
They were 5 years old at the time.
Twins?
Yes. And I had seen Laurie at some of the daycare meetings that I'd been to when I was providing child care. So I knew of her.
Fine. And you needed somebody immediately. You brought the children over when?
This was in July, on July 12th.
And what financial arrangements did you make?
They were going to be there for part-time, so she was charging me for part-time for the 2 children at $90 a week.
And how many weeks were the children there?
They were there for about 4.5 weeks or so.
And how many weeks did you pay for?
For all of the time that we were there.
Well, the last check, what happened?
I gave her the check on the Monday. Tuesday afternoon, I came and picked the children up as usual, and she wasn't there. Her husband was there, and I went and I said, you know, where's Laurie? And I was told that she had taken one of her children to a doctor. I said, okay, but the children, as soon as my children sat down in the car, they told me that, Mommy, you know, they were watching naked people on TV.
Did you ask the children to describe what they saw?
They just told me that there were naked people on TV, and to be honest with you, I was just so distraught, I didn't know what to think or what to do. I just drove home.
Did you question them any further?
I did ask if it was people on the beach, you know, what was it, you know, was it, because sometimes children may say that even people in underwear are naked, so I wanted to be sure, and they said no, they weren't wearing anything. And so that really bothered me, and I just contacted DCFS on the issue so that they could investigate further.
Okay, let's get to the 10th of August. Where were you?
I watched her kids up until about 3:15, and then I took my daughter to the doctor, and my husband watched her kids for me the last half hour.
Why didn't he take your children to the doctor?
I just wanted to, so I just left them with him.
Well, that was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
Is he a daycare provider?
No, he's not.
Then you made a mistake. You made a serious mistake. So the part of your lawsuit, quite frankly, that deals with punitive damages for reporting you to the state, I'm dismissing. If you have children in your charge and you've been licensed by the state, it is your obligation, absent an emergency, to take care of them. And you have absolutely no right to let your husband fill in. And this was a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that right?
Right.
What was he doing home?
He had the day off. I don't remember exactly why he was off that day.
She told me he'd been laid off. So he'd been, most of the time when you go, he's around the house mowing or doing other things.
Was he working at that time?
I don't remember. He's been laid off on and off since August. He'd work a couple weeks and they'd lay him off for a week, and then he'd work a month and they'd lay him off for 2 weeks. It's been that way since August.
Step up, sir. What were you watching on television, Mr. Jones?
Captain Ron. It's a comedy. I brought a copy.
Is there any nudity in that movie?
It just shows that, no, there ain't no nudity. It shows them in bikinis and bathing suits.
PG.
PG-13.
It's still not appropriate for children.
Yeah, it is.
Just
it's
a second.
comedy.
No, PG-13 is not appropriate for children. That means parental guidance, not to watch till you're 13. That's what PG-13 means, Mr. Jones. 5-year-olds watch G-rated movies, not PG-13, right?
Right.
I mean, it's a comedy to you. You think that these 5-year-olds understand the comedy?
Mine does.
Well, then they've been watching too many PG-13 movies. Well, I would be, Miss Jones, quite frankly, I would be pretty annoyed, too.
She told DCFS that they were watching X-rated porno.
I did not tell them that.
That's what he told me.
What I said was the children told me they were watching naked people. Children
That's
don't
porno.
know the difference.
Just a second. No.
Know the difference.
No. That's not pornography. That's watching naked people. What you did was, and I don't even know if that's what he was watching. So you made 2 mistakes. A, you made arrangements to take your daughter to the doctor at 3:15 in the afternoon while you still had work to do. It was not an emergency. B, if it was an emergency, then you let him take your daughter to the doctor and you stay home. And if the reason that you didn't let him take your daughter to the hospital was because you didn't trust his judgment.
No, that's not it at all.
Well, then there can be no other reason when you say, I wanted to, rather than let him take her when you had a job to do. The reason is either you didn't take your job seriously, or you didn't trust his judgment in relaying to the doctor whatever ailment your daughter had. And if you didn't trust his judgment with regard to doing that, you don't trust his judgment with leaving him alone with strange children when he's an unlicensed, unregulated, untrained provider. And he's been doing nothing but sitting around watching TV all day. So he's probably had it up to here with kids. Counterclaim seeks the return of all your money. So I'm going to give you an analogy of why you're not going to get all the money back. Let's say you've been going to a local restaurant for 2 years. One day you go there and you find a roach in your salad. And you say, I'm not paying for this meal. There was a roach in my salad, right? I would say you're absolutely right. You shouldn't have to pay for that meal. You say, not only don't I want to pay for that meal, I've been going there 2 years. I want all the money back that I spent in this restaurant over the last 2 years. Would you get it back?
No, I understand.
I think that you were absolutely right to contact the state. I think that her actions in leaving the children with an unlicensed provider is inappropriate. I'm not exactly sure what he was watching on television.
That's a
the
concern,
best
too.
scenario is he was watching a PG movie, and he shouldn't have been with 5-year-olds. So your claim is dismissed. Understood?
I do understand that. However, I was really, truly shocked, and it was offensive, I feel, to the children in her care, her own children, and to my children.
Then why don't you tell the judge why you got your daycare license stripped from you?
I didn't get my daycare license stripped.
Listen to me. It's not about her.
Okay, that's offensive because you can...
It's not about her, though. It's about you. You did the wrong thing. And he did the wrong thing. She made a complaint, and she was justified in making her complaint. And if she was justified in making a complaint, it boggles my mind why you're suing her. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step back.
She's just upset with every daycare provider because she got her own daycare license stripped from her.
Nobody took my license away from me.
They were not watching X-rated.
When they told me that, they were watching people, naked people on TV, I felt no.
I would not do that with kids.
I did my background check.
Shrek is rated PG.
Unfortunately, sometimes that isn't always going to be enough.